Matt. I have
Yeah,
something great I want to tell you about and our listeners.
do it. Do it.
We have some amazing and exciting news. We are launching a Patreon.
Woo!
Woo! For those of you that want to hear more of us and our amazing reviews, you can join us at the bar for more booze and reviews, where we will not just give you tons of great new cocktails or wine, as Matthew likes.
Yes, my favorite.
But we will also be reviewing franchises because sometimes you don't want to devote all that time. So we will let you know, should you invest or should you say no?
Right.
We have a level for everyone. There is 5, 7, 10, 20, or you can buy us a drink, which is at your own level donation. So if you love what we do, and we know you do, the numbers tell us so, and want to join us, come join us at the After Hours Bar. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel, so check that out to see these lovely faces. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my little brother, Matt.
Hi, you guys.
And this month's theme is March Madness. So all of our movies pertain to basketball. And on this episode, we will be talking about John Tucker Must Die.
Must he, though?
I have to say, that's a little extreme, but
Yeah,
we are dealing with teenage girls.
I was expecting them to kill him in this movie. Because this was my first outing on this movie. So I was expecting them to kill him. And then when they didn't, I was like, oh, bummer.
Did you watch the trailer?
No.
So you just made the assumption that girls were pissed and gonna kill John. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer because I'd have been like, the trailer lied. I need murder.
All right. So before we get started talking about the movie, what are you drinking?
So I've drank this before, but this is a different recipe. I am having what is called an alley-oop.
Ooh, this one's pink.
Yes, it is pink because it's got, well, first off, it has Jack Daniels, but it has the Tennessee Rye. Delicious. And then, okay, so I have to tell you right now, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't like it when I have to make crap for my beverages. But I was like, okay, I've never done, so I had to make strawberry puree. Not fun at all because I had to blend this like so many times, and I think I went overboard because it's a little too strawberry or puree.
Oh, less alcohol-y and more sweetie.
Oh no, I just added more alcohol. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
And then it's got a fresh sour mix, which I also had to make, which is lemon juice, simple syrup, and then water. And then they always want you to garnish with some stuff, but
I'm pretty sure you can buy the sour syrup.
I
think so.
I'm looking it up right now. I hate you. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Kodiak Island.
Ooh, what's that?
It has Beefeater's gin, some lemon juice, simple syrup, and it's supposed to be garnished with some mint. But I'm like you, I don't waste my time with the garnish. So.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I don't need it to look pretty. I just need it to taste pretty and to get me drunk.
And I picked the Kodiak because that is the basketball team's mascot.
Yes, which I just want to say, I had to look up what a Kodiak was because I was like, are they talking about the film place, the cameras? And then my wife was like, that's Kodak. And I was like, don't get smart with me. And the Kodiak is, I guess, is a bear. It's a bear. So, okay.
All right. So can I just first state before we get started in this movie, there are so many hot, attractive people at this high school. So many. They walk down the only time you see an ugly person at this hospital is later in the movie when he becomes the face of herpes and there's the 6 kids that are herpes
I know
sitting on the stage. It's the only time you see ugly people. And why do the ugly people have the herpes?
Right. And herpes is gross.
No
offense to you guys.
But I'm just saying, this high school must be in some beautiful town that none of us are mortals are allowed to go to, because
Right.
every single person in this high school is above normal attractiveness.
Right.
So,
I agree. I agree. In fact, I wrote
so
in big letters, John Tucker is hot. Look at
yeah,
John
oh yeah, he
Tucker.
was in that Desperate Housewives,
I never watched that show.
I didn't either, but he was like on that. So
The
the
sex
housewives were all
trap, the
oohed and
little,
ahhed him.
yeah, the little
Yeah.
honey pot.
Yeah, right. So we start with in the beginning, Kate's kind of giving us a back history story, and we kind of get a Skip one-on-one lesson. And Skip is the name she calls all of her mom's boyfriends, because eventually they're going to skip out. So which is super funny, because if you look at the credits, they literally are called Skip 1, Skip
Skip
2,
one. I didn't
Skip
look
3.
at the credits.
Yeah, that's what it says. Skip 1.
Does the pilot Skip, is his name Pilot Skip at all?
Yeah, but they're all just
Skip.
Skip.
That's so funny.
Because she says in the beginning, when her mom started dating, she learned their names, but then she realized not to and just started calling them Skip. So
Right on.
I
like, I wrote down when the first scenes come up. I go, look, Jenny McCarthy is here, and her mom. And can't keep a man, so she's a whore in real life and in movies.
I was gonna say, she didn't have to act too much for this role, did she now?
Oh, let's be honest, she can't act anyways.
Because didn't she get her start on that MTV Singled Out show?
Oh my god! Which, by the way, I loved her on that show. I love that show.
I loved when MTV used to be, here's a fun game show that we're trying to invent. Here's some videos.
So good. I'm in the
all
same
their
boat
little
with you.
reality shows were just like, once a week at night on MTV. Now I'm like, do they even have anything to do with music anymore? But anyway,
no,
yes,
they don't, which is a bummer. Yeah, they should.
Jenny McCarthy got her start as the hostess of Singled Out, which was an amazing dating show
good
on MTV.
I love that show.
So great.
Yeah, kids these days don't know how good we had it with this stuff like that. It was so good. It was 50 dudes on one side of the building, and then like the person that they were trying to get would say this or that, and then if she said that, then half of them would go away, and you're like, oh, shit got real, like, real quick.
Oh god, she got rid of the really hot guy. Oh, that's she's gonna be so mad later. Right? So now she's moved to, because every time someone skips out on her too, or breaks her mom's heart, she shouldn't say skips out on her, breaks her heart, mom makes them pack everything up and move to a new town.
Which is a weird move.
Right? So strange. So wherever Kodiak is, wherever this school is, that's where they move to. And the very first scene of her at the school, she's at a basketball game and she's sitting in the stands cheering. And this girl who's behind her leans forward and goes, "Are you a narc?"
Right. Like, yeah. It's so weird.
And that's one of those like urban legends that goes through every single high school, like the 21 Jump Street of it all, of like, oh my God, that new kid, he's totally a narc. He looks like he's 40. Funny. How they thought he was going to pass as a 16-year-old. I don't know.
Yeah.
So dumb.
And I loved the vegan girl, how she's like, yeah, kill those bobcats, but not real ones, because they're in danger. Which, by the way, I looked it up. They are not endangered, at least not anymore. They're not endangered.
Right. Yeah. Well,
because as soon as she said it, I was like,
show herself as being the smartest person in this movie.
Right. Yeah. Which is like such a cliche, but it's like, whatever. It's like, it's happening and I'm here for it.
Right. So now, Kate has a job and she's a waitress. And she's a waitress in a restaurant, and John Tucker's in the restaurant. He's sitting at a table by himself, and she's like every other girl, ooh la la, he's so sexy, I can't even say words. Like, she literally can't say words. So she comes back, and now he's having dinner with Carrie, the blonde.
Carrie, yes.
And then the next scene is he's in the restaurant again, and this time he's having dinner with Heather, the cheerleader.
Yes.
Then by the third time, she's like, oh, hell no, he's ridiculous. He's a skip. And he's having dinner with Beth, the vegan, and he puts on this whole show of veal. I can't believe they do veal. That's so cruel. We're leaving immediately. And
if I wanted to torture animals, I'd go to a testing lab.
And he's like,
that's where they torture animals.
But I wouldn't go there, really.
Yeah. And then she fucks him because she's a whore.
Right,
Anyways.
because apparently in teenage slang, vegan teen activist means you're easy.
Right.
That's what this movie says.
Yeah. I want to just say right now, this took place. What year did this come out? Was it 2013 or something like that? Oh, 2006.
Yeah.
This would never happen in today's time because we have technology now. You could not cheat this easy. Like it's just like, but good for John Tucker. You fooled these stupid whores. Okay.
So now it's not the first day of school, but it's a day of school. You haven't seen any days of school yet. And Kate is walking into school and she sits down at a random table and every girl gets up from the table and walks away. And then John walks in and it shows him juggling the 3 different girls, like how he runs into one and goes forth. Well, then the gym teacher is coming down the stairs and he like winks at her and she has a heart attack.
No, yeah. What did she have? Like an angina? And I was like, what did she say? What did she say?
Yeah, cardiomyopathy, some weird thing. And so she has a heart attack. And what does Katie in her narrating call it? John could have never foreseen the tragic events of that Thursday or something like that, because they've combined all the girls' gym classes now.
Right. Which
and
is
they're playing
like ridiculous.
Dumb. So I don't know about you, but first of all, in my high school, they did not separate boys and girls in gym. And I'm older than you. So I went to school in the older days.
Yeah, we didn't separate either.
And there weren't multiple gym class. I mean, and I went to a fairly large high school. I mean, I think I had.
Yeah, you went to a huge high school.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this, but we had like 500 kids in our graduating class or some weird shit.
Which was more than mine.
Yeah. And so, and just
like,
so those of you like our parents didn't get, huh?
My class graduating was like a million years after you. You're like pretty old.
Well, and my school was still bigger. So, and just so everyone knows here, our parents didn't get divorced and he lived with one and I lived with the other. They just moved. I graduated, went off to college, and they moved. Literally, like the year I went to college, they moved.
Right on. Yeah.
So, so all 3 girls and Kate are in the same class. And what a coinkydink. They get put on the same volleyball team.
Yeah, they do.
And one girl is telling her friend
Harry
how she's dating John Tucker. And the one of the other girls sees her mouth this and hits her in the head with the volley.
Yeah, which was so like it was so slapstick. I was like, oh, get out of here with this nonsense. Why don't you just beat a bitch's ass? Like, be all like, John Tucker, you messing with my man? You about to catch these fists?
Don't worry, that does happen because Heather and Carrie start going after her, and Beth, being the vegan teen activist she is, gets between them and goes, peace, guys, love, non-violence. And then all of a sudden Heather's like, John Tucker's mine. And now all of a sudden Beth is not so peace and loving. Now apparently when you go near her deep, she gets all batshit crazy. She
becomes a lioness. You know what I'm saying?
So the 3 girls get detention for fighting.
The 4.
Well, no, Katie doesn't get it for fighting. She gets it for swearing. True. Remember, Kate? She gets it for swearing. Remember, language. Because she says something like, why the hell are you 2 trying to beat each other's asses when he's playing all of you? And she gets detention. So, so then the next scene is the meet cute of
which I personally liked.
Huh?
I personally liked the meet cute.
Oh, I did too. So she goes into the library and that's where she meets Scott, the other Tucker. He's John's little brother. And they have their little meet cute and he mocks her for showing up to detention early, which I'm like, good for you, because I would have too. Aren't you supposed to show up to detention late? So
I wouldn't know. I wasn't too much of a bad kid.
Oh, I never had like detention. I always got suspended.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, in-house suspension stunk. Real suspension, that was like a day off of school. So
I'll bet.
So now they're all in detention. Scott has left. Can
I say something real quick about the meet cute thing? So that the Scott guy is from the show You. And while I was watching this, I like to think that this is how he got started from that show.
Like this is like his prequel.
Yeah, this is like his origin
becoming
story.
A stalker.
Yeah, this is his origin. Kate is his first victim. She's in a glass box somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, I like to think that this is his beginnings.
Yeah,
Go
that this
ahead.
would be an excellent way to create him in you because of the shit she puts him through.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know if in that you show if they've introduced his brother, but they should, and his name should be John, and it should be played by the actor because he ain't got nothing to do today. So what
It
is he
should
with
be
John?
Jesse Metcalfe. Hey, you're gonna be John.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now they're all in detention. Can we first start? How is it that out of a school that looks very large, only these 4 girls have detention?
That's true. That's true. And can I also say they're all like with Kate, when it comes to Kate, they're like, who are you? And she's like, I'm my name is, and the guy's all like, no talking. I'm not gonna lie, at this point in time, I was like a small
Just
piece
yell
of me.
Kate.
What?
I was like, just yell Kate.
Well, a small piece of me was hoping that they would never say her name this entire time and nobody knew her name. And I was like, ooh, that'd be so good if at the end of the movie she just looked at the camera and be like, you still don't know what my name is. And I'd be like, I don't know what your name is. It's so good. That's too highbrow for this shit.
Right, right, right. So now they have like they're all like, well, what would you do? And because they're all arguing and whatnot, and then she makes a sound and Beth's like, we know you would dump him, and she's like, no, I would get even. And now
Right.
light bulb above all 3 of their teenage brains, they think she's a fucking genius. So they go to the
Yes.
AV room of all weird places and have a secret meeting.
Yes,
So
which I love how Carrie had like the whole setup with her, like her projector, which they don't use those anymore. Super fun times. But yeah, that was a fun scene.
And yeah, and the graphics when she's like, let's make
Oh,
him undateable. I'm like, oh, those are such early 2000 graphics.
yes,
Like,
but
that's
so
so
good,
crazy.
so
So
good.
good. So good.
Like if she had made that PowerPoint at my class, I'd be like, ooh, this girl's smart. She knows how to use a computer.
So now they decide they have
Can
to
I
like,
ask you a real quick
yeah.
question? Real quick. Out of the 3 girls, which one was your favorite, your personal favorite? Out of Carrie, Heather,
Oh,
and Beth.
Beth.
Beth was your favorite?
Oh, she's hysterical. She's
Oh,
just
I
so
thought,
stupid.
yeah, I thought Carrie was the most because she had her head on her shoulders the most. I felt
Yeah,
like,
that's I wouldn't I mean, no.
but she didn't put out, so that's a good point. I'd be like, you're not gonna like suck it. You're not gonna bend that neck.
No,
Okay,
and
whatever.
both Heather and Beth did. Beth does a
Oh
lot,
yeah,
but
they did.
Heather does once
Yeah,
because she
they
makes
bent
a
that neck
comment.
real quick. Yeah, they
Yeah.
bent the neck. Yeah.
So now they've decided they're going to make him undateable. So the way they make him undateable is Beth pretends she's going to make a model out of him, which she doesn't pretend. She does make a model out of him. She just doesn't say a model of what. And he's on a date.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I say something right now real quick about the
Yeah.
photographer in this movie? Okay. And I have something, and I'll just mention it right now, real quick. The photographer in this movie is from the movie Valentine. He's the candle on the dick guy from the movie Valentine that we did last month. And the detective is one of the teachers. The detective from Valentine is a teacher in this movie, the bald guy.
Oh my
And I was all like, is this a Valentine reunion? I was like, I am so excited. I was like, if one more person shows up, that's 3. And I say this is a Valentine reunion. But I couldn't find a third one. I was like, man, bummer.
Bummer. Yeah, I did not make that connection until you pointed it out, but that's so true.
It was so like I saw them like back to back, and I was like, oh, I'm excited. I think I'm getting hard right now. Like I'm
like,
just
I
so
need
excited.
one more. This is like a game.
It was like that Valentine lottery. I was like, come on, we got a bingo. We need a bingo here, but they didn't get a bingo.
So he's in the woods taking topless pictures. He's in a pair of jeans, no shirt, with his abs and his golden
Very
brown skin,
hot.
whatever. Yeah, very hot. And he's acting like a tree, and his arms are
Right?
swinging above his head and everything. So then he's on a date with a new chick, someone we've not seen him with before, and they're watching the movie. And you know how when you go to the movie, there are ads for your local area, whatever.
Yes
and now all
and
of a sudden,
no, but
yeah.
yes.
Oh, well, at our movie theater, there's ads for local businesses before the movie. So it's first something like, do you know, are you just another pretty face or something like that? And then like, this isn't just a pretty face. That's what it says. This is the face of herpes. And then the next one says, I I know, I have herpes. And the girl he's with freaks out, which, he's all, no, I just modeled the guy that has herpes.
Yeah, which makes total sense. I'm sorry, but like you could do a commercial for chlamydia and not have chlamydia, like,
Right.
or a
I don't
chlamydia
think
drug.
everyone who's in those drug commercials for all the pharmaceutical companies actually have hepatitis B or arthritis or whatever,
Yeah.
asthma. It's called acting for a reason. So the school ends up giving him an award for his activism. And again, I'm like, he just got a modeling job. It's not activism or activism. And
Activist
that's,
vision.
yeah, it's words are hard.
It's
So
okay. I understand. Activision, I get it. Yeah, and the herpes were gross. Herpes is gross. I'm sorry. If you have
yes.
herpes,
And
sorry, but you're gross.
just so you know, there is the STD herpes, but there is also a herpes virus. So just because someone has herpes, it may not be the STD version. So be nice. It's still gross.
No, it's gross looking. Do you see their faces? I don't care
That's
how
what I mean.
much.
This is the part of the movie where the 6 ugliest people in the movie are all together on stage and you never see them again.
Right.
It's like they got them off set as quickly as possible in case their ugliness was going to infect all the hot people or something.
Right.
So,
Right.
so now they've decided they're going to drug John. This is their next scheme.
Which I just want to say, this is illegal. What happens next? Okay.
No, illegal because they take
All right, go ahead.
estrogen pills.
Yeah.
Like for women who are going through menopause.
Yes.
And they crush him up and they put him in his protein powder.
Yes.
Which he uses to bulk up. This is not good because you don't know what else he's doing. You can't just do this. This is illegal.
Yes.
If he would have gotten hurt, that would have been attempted murder. So
yeah.
So don't do that. So now, while they're doing this and this whole scheme's planning out, it goes to chemistry class. And Kate and Scott have another little fun moment. Who does not know how to measure water?
And I love the word doodad. I love it. It's so cute. Like, yeah.
Because she tried to say meniscus to the line, and he's like, what?
I like the word meniscus too. Meniscus and doodad. I like it. I just like it.
Sorry, needed a drink.
No,
and he spills the salt water on his pants and is like, it burns. What do I do? And she's like,
we've all been there, right, guys?
So, their whole relationship is growing and whatever.
Yeah.
And now we're at the next basketball game. And this is, I'm going to assume it's been some time since they've been slipping the estrogen, even though we only see them slip it to him once.
Which he downs like nobody's business.
And she convinces him he needs to take more. And he thinks it's just the protein. You still shouldn't up the amount of the protein powder either. That's not good either. So now he's emotional. Like they take every stereotype of a menopause.
Oh my God, I wrote that down. Yeah. Go ahead and finish your thought. Go.
His nipples hurt. He's emotional. Honestly, all the things he's saying, I'm like, man, I felt all of those things when I was pregnant. Is he pregnant?
I wrote down like first off, I wrote down female stereotypes. And I was like, estrogen doesn't do that. I was like, it doesn't make your nipples sensitive off the bat. I was like, it doesn't make you emotional just because you have more estrogen. No. I was like, and then I wrote something down that I can't read, but like, I was all like, this is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I was like, and it's kind of insulting. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
it is. And I go, by saying those things are happening like instantly, the only way those things are happening like that, and literally it still takes like 6 to 10 weeks, is like when a woman's first pregnant.
Right.
Those are the early signs of pregnancy. But they can also be the early signs of, oh, you're on your period. Like, and then to say that these are the cause of estrogen, oh, whatever man wrote this, go fuck yourself.
Right on. I don't even know who wrote this.
I don't either. But
it was written by a man. It was written by Jeff Lowell.
Of course it was. Jeff, you're an idiot. Yeah. Go read a book or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I see one thing that I wrote down in here, because I don't I'm not 100% sure, but I wrote down, they drink a lot of Diet Coke in this movie. Sponsor.
Oh, yeah. Every time they're at Katie's house, they've all got Diet Coke in their hands. Yes. Yeah. So then there's like the little montage. Or no, during the basketball game, he runs off crying because he's emotional and his coach won't ever listen to him. So now there's the montage of him breaking up with the 3 girls, using the exact same line on all of them. And I forgot to mention, so he's really not dating them. He's secretly dating them. And I'm putting up air quotes because, and he uses the excuse his dad won't allow him to date during basketball season because it'll be too much of a distraction.
Right.
So he breaks up with all 3 girls. Now they're back in the AV room having a strategy meeting.
Yeah. So, and I wrote this down. I wrote down they set up a heartbreak timeline. I was like, what?
Yes. For his birthday party, because apparently his birthday party is like homecoming and prom, all wrapped into one.
I have thoughts about that birthday party. Go.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're just not there yet.
I'm just saying, I have thoughts.
So now they've decided that Kate is going, they're going to get him to fall in love with Kate, and they're going to break his heart. They're going to neuter him, which is Beth, which is why she's funny. Like, she's an activist, but she's not very smart, that she thinks they're going to neuter him. So they've decided that Kate needs to be a cheerleader, and Kate doesn't want to be a cheerleader. She's like, no, thank you. And she becomes a cheerleader. And then once John notices her, it kind of all starts to speed up there. Like, and they don't think she's ready. And they have like a meeting, and they teach her to count to 3 in her head. And they try it on her, and they're like, well, not that slow. We don't want him to think you're stupid. But they don't use the word stupid.
They use the R word, which I would use, but I don't want to get demonetized or anything like that. But
yeah. So just don't do that. It's the RET word. So just don't use it.
He's carded.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so so then the first meeting of like talking with Sean, like, she does count in her head, and you can just tell she's really slow. Like, the first time she mouths it, she is counting slow. She's all like, okay. For those of you that couldn't see, I was like doing it the way she does, and it's just super slow. So
don't worry, we all thought you were carded.
And so after that meeting, she walks away from him, and he somehow magically, the same day, because she's in the same clothes and he's in the same clothes, he has a bazillion dozen roses. Like, I don't even know how many it was.
I wrote down. What was that?
Did you count them? Because I didn't.
No, but I wrote down he sent her a stalker amount of roses.
Right.
Like, it was insane.
Which you wonder where his brother gets the ideas in the next show.
Oh my gosh. Vetta, you are setting, we're setting the stage for the show.
We are. Someone's going to hear this and they're going to love it.
Oh my gosh. I hope they do. God, Vetta, I'm not even joking. If Jesse, what's his face, shows up on You season 4, I'm going to freak out, and I'm totally going to take credit for it. I'm not joking.
Absolutely. That's our idea right there. Yes. So then it shows them again back in the AV room, and they're all doing that little, video in each other, giving John the smackdown or whatever, the "you are not him" speech or whatever. And it shows him with his brother Scott asking for the 411 on Katie, and he's like, well, she's not your type. And he's like, girl's my type. And he's like, but she's really deep. Oh, well, I'm dating the poetry club. I'm deep. I'm dating the whole poetry club. So again, it's just kind of silly in that, with all the stereotypes and all the things like that. And then they're at another game, another basketball game. Here we are. And Kate is a cheerleader, and it's at the end of the game, and there's seconds left, and they need 2 points to win. And John is bouncing the ball in front of her and asking her on a date, and she's like, no. But then Heather's like, if it'll let him shoot the ball, if it'll help us win, say yes. Right. So she says yes to going to the beach party with him. So now the girls have put they call it the boob cam, because they've strapped a little mini camera to her bra. What?
I almost just spilled my drink.
Oh, don't do that. That would be a waste. Now I get why you were making that face. I'd have made the same.
Go ahead.
So they put the camera on her bra strap, and then they give her like a crocheted little sweater so that the camera can fit through the hole and see everything. Which now I'm like, who's
I
the
always fit through
stalker?
the hole.
But who's the stalker now? This is some really messed up stuff. Kids, don't do this. This is not good. There are laws against these things. I'm just saying. So, and she's so awkward through this whole beach party.
Yeah.
She's so incredibly awkward.
Boom.
So this whole time she's being super awkward. And Beth, Heather, and Carrie are not at the party enjoying the party.
Right.
They're in Carrie's mom's minivan stalking
Right.
by watching on a little portable.
Which I have a question. Was technology that advanced back then? Because it was like a good picture on it, like on iPad.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that good of a picture,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it was questionable to me.
right.
Personally.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in this movie that are questionable. So
right, like the morals.
Right. Oh, for sure. So they go through the whole party and she decides she wants to go home. So he tells her to meet her at the truck. He's going to make sure Tommy, his friend, has a ride home. So when he gets to the car, or she gets to the car, Beth meets her there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this is where her and Beth kiss. And for those of you who need a visual on who Beth is, she is Sophia Bush from Gossip Girls, the original, not the remake.
Yeah, I didn't watch that show.
So she's teaching her how to kiss, or showing her what type of kiss to do the first time she kisses John.
Oh, kiss her again.
Yeah, the boy who sees it, he was a freshman, right?
For sure.
So boy sees them and is like, kiss her again. And they turn on the brights to kind of like scare him away. And they realize they see John approaching. So rather than getting out of the truck, Beth hops in the back seat and covers herself up with a blanket and everything.
Yes.
Carrie and Beth notice this, and at first she says she's in the truck, and Beth's like, what? And she's like, slut in truck. And they freak out. And
which so I love how this girl stuck around, even though she kept being called a slut.
Right.
And I was like, why are you taking this abuse, Beth? Because I would have bailed like
oh, that's right. Because at one point they're at Kate's house and they're eating ice cream and frosting. And she says, I couldn't even enjoy the breakup sex. And they're like, what? She's like, oh my God, I'm such a slut.
Which, by the way, I have questions. When you get depressed, do you just eat icing out of the jar, out of the little container?
Not icing. No.
I was going to say that's so weird, but whatever, girls. Anyways, go ahead.
Whatever floats their boats, I guess.
Yeah.
So first of all, when he's driving her home, I'm going to focus on Beth again, because Beth does something that's super gross to me. So she's in the back seat and she's going through his stuff, and she finds a bra and it says 100% hemp on the tag, and she puts it in her pocket like she's taking it.
Yeah, she keeps it gross.
Right. That's really gross. You don't wear someone else's undergarments. Yeah. You just don't. No, this is nasty. So now he's at the house and they're having their first goodnight kiss, and the sprinklers go off. And now they're up on the front porch and he goes to kiss her again. And the camera freaks out and zaps her, and it goes through her lips to his lips. Would it do that? Would that camera send an electronic zap to her?
I had questions about that too. I was like, I don't think that's how that works, but what do I know?
I mean, Jeff also thinks that if you take estrogen for a little about a time, it turns you into a pregnant woman. So apparently Jeff didn't know how engineering works. I don't know.
Very true. That's very true.
So next, John's going to take her on a date. Just the two of them. And the girls are following because they can't figure out where they are, because they walk past the restaurant where Kate works and where he takes all the other girls. And one of Kate's one of her co-workers is one of John's old side pieces, multiple girlfriends, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So they realize that they're on a boat, and they're all super pissed because none of them knew there was a boat. None of them were on a boat. And
which can I say two things? One, real quick, was she okay? So I wrote down Katie is a dick to her mother.
Oh, for sure.
Because her mom has that date with that pilot Skip guy.
Yeah.
And she's all like, oh, well, you're just gonna let him. He says like, oh, he's probably here on a layover looking for somebody to lay over. And I'm like, oh, very witty, Kate. Look at
Way to
you.
play with words, Kate.
Yeah, Kate. Which
And then she says something to her mom like, should I
Vetta.
be taking advice from you?
Yeah, in my drunken stupor, I think I just remember Kate is the main character in Valentine. Is that our third connection?
Ooh.
Okay, anyways, moving on.
Yeah,
Back to the boat date. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they have a date on the boat, and these three dumb girls who just couldn't let them do their thing because they were losing their signal.
Oh,
take a
yes.
dinghy, a little boat out into the ocean to try to follow them. They're going to try to follow this big ass sailboat with this little ass dinghy. And of course, they like run out of gas or something, and now they're stuck.
No, the one girl wanted to go faster, so she
That's right.
revved it, and then they're like, it stopped. She's like, you flooded the engine, and the other girl, like the cheerleader, like pulled on the thing, and it fell. Their engine fell into the ocean. I'm all like, first off, I haven't seen that specifically happen, but I have seen parts fall off of a boat into the water. I'm like, oh, it's gone. It's gone forever.
It was like, do you have oars? Because you're rowing now,
right?
So once again, they have another meeting in the AV room.
Well, can I just say right now that boat date, I would have been like, where do I lay down at, John Tucker? Where do I lay down at?
Yeah, but it's a little harder for her to do something like that.
When you put your sweet lips on my sweet lips, if you get what I'm saying, John Tucker. Come on.
Right. She's like, I'll just use you instead of you using me.
Right.
So now they have another meeting, and Kate's all, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to hurt his feelings. He's a nice guy. It was really bad he did these things, blah, blah, blah. And they're all like, oh, hell no. So they decide to catch John in the act of still being a tool.
Yeah, which, by the way, I also wrote down, this is illegal.
So illegal. You see this on the news all the time of people being arrested for this. So Carrie takes her video camera and goes into the boys' locker room and locks herself and sits in one of the locker rooms and videotapes teenage boys in a locker room. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's illegal. It's totally illegal.
And if you're literally making child porn, not allowed. Gross.
Yeah, and if I was in that locker room, I would be mortified if I knew somebody was recording me.
Right. And obviously,
but mostly because I have chapstick for a penis, so
I wouldn't know, and I don't want to know. So keep that to yourself.
It's like this. It's like a Vienna sausage. It's nothing special.
Hell. Can never look at a memory of Vienna sausages when we were kids again. Thanks for that. Memory starts with we were eating Vienna sausage.
Hey, it's kosher, okay?
Anyways, no one is naked. They're all in their gym shorts, whatever, in this locker room. And he says something. What does he say? Uncork her and pork her.
Yeah. That's exactly what he says. Uncork it and pork it. I'm like,
yeah. He compares her to a wine or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
76 Bordeaux.
So
I'm
now,
like, shut up. You don't know what that is.
Right. Carrie's excited. She's got the evidence to show Kate he hasn't changed. But this is like one of my favorite parts, because this is totally, we're just looking for a laugh. And I was like grossed out. I never laugh at these. I'm so grossed out. Tommy, of course, backs up to the exact locker Carrie's in.
Oh, yeah.
And farts.
Yeah, which was ridiculous.
Right. It reminds me of the movie Can't Buy Me Love, when
I love that movie.
McDreamy's brother is in the back of the station wagon, and he backs up the big football player who's got a fart to the window.
Oh, yeah.
And has him fart into the car.
Oh, I love that movie. We should do that movie.
Me too. So it reminded me of that. I was like, oh my God. So I wonder if Jeff, the writer, stole that from there.
Probably.
So now they show it to Kate, and Kate's pissed because now they're going to the special away game. And this is like where people hook up or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the deadlines. This is like where they're confirming if he's left. So she's playing along with everything, and she video chats him in his room, and she's wearing lingerie, like it's not really lingerie. She's wearing a red lace bra and red lace panties and a black silk robe, and she
It was
teases.
cute.
It was adorable. She's a nice body. I mean,
Yeah, she does.
yeah, she does. And so she puts in his room ahead of time, which she didn't do. One of the three girls probably did. Put in a gift bag a red thong, and she asks him to put it on and come to her room, and he's like, oh no, and she's like, I'm sorry, you're so inexperienced and you're just not into this thing. And I'm like, don't peer pressure him. That's inappropriate for you to do. He shouldn't do it to you. You shouldn't do it to him. That's not his thing.
Right.
It's not his thing. But he wants the V. He wants to put his D in her V, so he puts the thong on his D.
Right, right.
So,
which I just have to say though, you'll finish your thing and then I'll
go
say
ahead.
it. No, you go.
I'm gonna take a drink. You go.
Oh, you okay? Well, I was just gonna say, like, the thong really wasn't that bad for one, and for two, I wouldn't climb on that ledge, but you were getting there, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to
So
say anything.
me, the thong looked kind of like, at least on him from the front, it just looked like a Speedo in the front with some white, with a white little bow on it.
Yes.
So then, of course, she says, you can't go out into the hall. You have to climb the balcony because the cheer coach is roaming the halls, checking on everybody. And she's like, I'm 3 rooms down. I've already counted. And so he climbs out on the balcony. And don't do this. Like, teenage kids have done this and died. He climbs out his balcony and goes balcony to balcony to get to her room. But it's not her room. Guess whose room it is? It's the coach's.
Right.
So now he's just climbed in wearing a thong to the girls' cheer coach.
He looks good in a thong. I'm all
He
like,
really does.
I'd fuck him. I'd fuck him.
He's got a nice ass. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Abs and ass. What more do you need?
he's
I mean,
hot.
and he doesn't look small.
Yeah. Oh, he looks large and in charge.
So now they're in the hallway and everybody's taking pictures. Again, not allowed. Do not take pictures of underage children in their underwear. It's inappropriate. It's illegal. Don't do it. But everyone's taking pictures of him. The teachers or the coaches are freaking out. His basketball coach really freaks out, slams him up against the wall. Not
Which
allowed
is abuse,
again. Yeah, you can't do that. And he has his feelings hurt by Kate. And he finds her the next time they're at school, and she says, oh, and he's declaring his love for her. And she's like, oh, so I'm not what was it, an 84 Bordeaux?
Yeah. Well, before that, remember he goes into the gym and he's all like,
oh, that's right. He wears the thong he's trying to put a spin
and he's like,
on
it's light, it gives you air. And then he does and I wrote down here, there's no way he could do a front flip and make a basket just from a thong, just by wearing a thong.
No.
And I wrote down, after that, all the guys start wearing thongs in the school, all the basketball players and all the men, and they all have lace. I'm like, they do make thongs for men without lace. You do know that, because one of them makes the comment about like, well, now everybody knows Victoria's Secret. I'm like, I could buy a thong right now and in 2006 for men without lace.
Yeah. I think Heinz makes them. I mean, or Fruit of the Loom, whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
did you
that
say
big
Heinz as in like the ketchup?
Yeah, I did. I meant Heinz.
I think you meant Haynes.
Didn't mean Heinz. I said
Heinz ketchup. What? Hey, what'd you say?
Conversation. Words are hard.
Words are
especially
hard
when you involve alcohol.
God. Oh, if Heinz ever made a ketchup flavored thong for men, I would buy one. And I'd showcase it on this channel. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Heinz, listen.
Like ketchup, wish I could dip fries in it.
Right. I'm looking it up as we're talking now. Okay, continue.
Why do I see that coming back to haunt me later? So he twists the whole thong thing, and everybody no longer thinks it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. So he has found her, declares his love for her, and she does the whole, oh, so you didn't say I was an 84 whatever, and you didn't want to uncork me and pork me. And he's all, that's just locker room talk, blah, blah, blah. And he gives her, instead of giving her like a ring or his Letterman's jacket or what they do in other movies when someone, am I boring you?
No,
It's
I've been
funny.
drinking. I'm tired. Continue.
so, so he takes off his watch and gives her his watch. So now here we are again, back in the AV room
Mm-hmm.
for a special meeting, because apparently Carrie is the only member of the AV club that uses this room. And now the other three girls are freaking the F out over her getting this watch.
Right.
And they're all fighting. Kate doesn't want to go to the birthday party and do their whole plan of breaking his heart and everything. And the other three girls decide to go along with it anyways, because they still want to ruin him. And they're jealous of Kate now. They made her, as they put
Yeah.
it, into this perfect girl because they combined all three of them. And now she's reaping their benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I thought was really shitty of them. Just
Yeah. Because yes, they did this to her and encouraged it, but why do they think they should get the benefits? Because she's also going to suffer too. So at the party, can we talk about this party? First of all, it's in like a huge, I don't know if it's supposed to be a ballroom, a warehouse, or it looks like almost a combination of the two, or the inside of like a rented out nightclub or something, because it's got a big ass stage and
oh,
everything.
right on. Well, remember the brother finds out everything first and he confronts her.
Oh, yeah. His brother finds everything out because he sees them all leaving the AV
Yeah,
room,
and he's
because
like, what do
he
they
hangs
have in
out and
common?
he's like, well, since when did they start hanging out?
Yes, and
And
then we move over. Go ahead. Sorry.
he figures it out real quick what's
Yeah.
going on, that it's
And
a
then we move
revenge
over to
plot.
his birthday, which I have thoughts on, just so you
Yes.
know.
Yeah. Like first there's the big giant truck with all the sound system and stuff in it.
Yeah,
And
which his birthday was better than anyone deserves. Like anyone, I don't. I'm so like you're like I know they said he was loaded. His parents were loaded, but how loaded were they? This was like an arena size
yeah,
venue.
this was like, what was that show on MTV? My Sweet 16,
Oh
that
yeah,
were
yeah,
so over
yeah.
the top, and like they were always like $250,000
That's a
to
good.
a
Yeah,
half
that's
a million
exactly how it
dollar
was.
birthday part or
Yes,
16th birthday parties and stuff. They were just
yes,
ridiculous. That's
ridiculous.
what this is. It's ridiculous. They've got like a slideshow going, they've got
Can I
music and drinks and
can I just
food.
say I honestly thought you were going to say they got a slut show going, which they almost do with that cake.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he gets Kate to come up on stage, and Kate decides to tell the whole world
Oh yeah, it's
everything.
confession time.
Yeah. And then Carrie and them, they play the video where she's like, and you are not him. The words that he uses to break up with a girl, she turns him around. They take that video where she turned it around and said the same thing to him, and they play it, and she confesses everything.
Right.
Then the three girls realize what they've done. They have a conscience all of a sudden, and they run up on stage and they take the blame for it. But all the guys in the audience, again, horrible. This is just ridiculous. In today's era, they could not make this movie just because of this scene right here. All the boys
Right.
in the audience are like, who cares if you lie, and who cares if you do this, because you get to sleep with the finest girls in school,
Right.
and they're high-fiving or whatever. And then eventually the douchey kid in the front row throws his drink on Kate. Then the other
Yes.
girls are, taking her side or whatever. Well, then they throw their drinks on them. And then John takes the microphone and he says all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't have lied, blah, 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 whatever. And Kate throws cake at him from
Oh
his
yeah.
giant 5-tier stripper gonna pop out of it cake. There was no stripper in it, but that's the type of cake it looked like. That's how big it was. And then it turns into a big giant food fight.
Yes, and can I say real quick before they get into the big food fight? So it's confessions time, right?
Yes, so
And
much confession.
he gives his confessions like, yeah, maybe you did break my heart and everything. And as soon as he said that, I was like, this guy is gonna get so much play just from being like, you broke my heart.
Oh yeah, because think about what he got when he threw the baby tantrum
Yeah, when he
from the
do the
estrogen, and all of a
estrogen,
sudden all
yeah.
the
All those
girls
girls
are
like,
coming up to him and slipping his number, and that's the
yeah,
bravest thing I've ever
yeah,
seen.
yeah. I want a man that feels. I want to feel a real man.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a peer counselor. You can call me. I stay up late and we can
Yeah,
talk about your
exactly,
emotions.
exactly. So I was like, oh,
Whatever.
he's gonna get
Fuck off.
some vagina.
Oh, yeah. And everybody knows that guy when they're in high school that can pretty much just, say, I'm horny, and 12 girls are in line going, me too.
Yeah, me
So
too. Yeah. Hashtag.
it was not you. Sorry.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean, Vetta? I was very attractive in high school.
You were very adorable. Yes,
Oh,
you were.
adorable. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense.
You have a great personality.
Get out of here. Yeah, I hate you. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, so next it's Katie narrating again, talking about how it took them 3 days to wash the cake out of their hair. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
and it's kind of a duplication of the opening scene at the school where they're walking in, but now it's of Katie walking in and everything. And they see, so the three friends, Heather, Beth, and Carrie, see her talking to Scott, John's little brother, and they're all like, oh, you like the other Tucker? We'll have you with him in no time. So they're already scheming to do this again. But then it shows, she's like saying how everybody learned their lessons. And so now John doesn't lie anymore. He's open and honest, and it shows him talking to his girlfriend. And I put up quotes because he introduces his girlfriend to his other girlfriend. And you could definitely tell they're surprised that each other exist, but he's doing what he said. He's being honest. So
Yes.
that's kind of how it ends. I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. I have nothing else I want to say.
All right. So then I guess we'll move on. I don't have anything else to say either.
No.
I mean,
I
we've
feel
all
like the ending to this movie, they didn't know how to end the movie, so they're like, just end it where everybody learns their lesson.
Yeah. Where maybe if they would have just put like the opening scene or the preview to the first season of You, that would have been great.
Oh, that'd been so good. Oh my God, that'd been so good.
That's like playing when the credits are rolling.
I'm gonna tweet out this idea as soon as we're done with this, so that way the creators of You can just get on that. Oh, that'd be so good. I'm telling you, they need to get that Jesse Metcalfe, is that his name, to be in season 4, and that'll just be perfect.
Right? They don't even have to make connections to like them going to high school and all of that. They just need to like have him as his brother named John, because we've already made the connection. So if they did that, we'd be freaking out doing girly screams.
Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so good.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next portion, our questions. What is your question?
My question for you is, what is your favorite womanizer movie?
Okay, so I picked this movie because it is a womanizer movie, but the women win in the end, and it's The Other Woman.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
So it's got Cameron Diaz in it, Kate Moss, and I can never remember the other lady's name off the top of my head. Damn it. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
I don't need to give you 2 seconds. It's fine. We already know who it is, don't we?
I don't know. Do you?
Who is it?
It's
Kate Upton. Kate Upton.
No, I said Kate.
Leslie Mann.
It is Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
So it's got those. So Leslie Mann is the wife. Cameron Diaz and Kate Upton are the mistresses. But Leslie only knows about Cameron, and then they find out together about Kate. So they do all this stuff. It's kind of similar. They do all these shenanigans to the husband, but then they realize, the husband's setting Leslie, who I think in this movie, her name's Kate as well.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure her name's Kate as well. Well, in the whole big scheme of things, they get back at him and they ruin his life, and they end up having a better life being best friends.
Right on.
So I really liked it because it showed that, it could happen. It does happen, but you can overcome it and live a great life. Men
Right
suck,
on. Right
women suck.
on.
It happens. What was your movie?
Okay, so my movie is it's not necessarily, it's about a guy who's like a womanizer, and then he meets a woman that's crazy, and then he like learns his lesson and just learns to like enjoy life, and that is Don John, starring what is his name? Ah, shit, he was gonna be
The guy
Batman.
from The Valet, isn't it?
No,
No,
it's got, hold on, I'm looking it up right now because I don't
I
remember his
must be
name.
thinking of the wrong movie. Let me.
Yeah, it's fine. I think I know what movie you're thinking about, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, yes, yes, you
Yes.
are right. I am thinking of the wrong movie, and I know the movie you're talking about now. I just didn't know
Yes.
that was the name of it. Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I like that movie, and I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt wrote that movie.
Oh, nice.
All right, so what is your question?
So my question is, what is your favorite Britney Snow movie?
So I went back and forth with this because I was gonna say Pitch Perfect at first, but because I like the singing and everything and it's so cute, but in all honesty, it's the movie X,
Oh,
because she plays a porn star, but she's all talking about how like she's like a low amateur, like low tier porn star, but she's like talking about how she's gonna be like famous. She's like, she's got a southern accent. She's like, I'm gonna be famous. And I'm like, for porn? What?
they haven't the adult movie awards.
For sure. But it's like a horror movie, and I actually kind of liked it. So that's my
I
favorite
have
one.
not seen it yet because
You
there's
should check it out.
also the new one that came out. Isn't it got a new one that's
Yeah,
like,
it's called Pearl.
yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I want to. They're on my list. What was the one you said? Oh, you said Pitch Perfect. So I debated between two as well.
Mm.
So I debated between the movie Would You Rather, where she takes a millionaire's option to go and play the game Would You Rather, because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
she has
saw that
custody of her
movie.
little brother and he has cancer and their insurance has ran out and they've ran out of money to pay for his medications. But I decided not to go with that one, and I went with the movie Someone Great. It is on Netflix right now. It's really good. It's about late 20-year-old best friends. Like, excuse me, they met in college, three girls, and one of them it's her last night in the city and before she moves to San Francisco, and or it's close to. She's moving to San Francisco to work for Rolling Stone, and she breaks up with her boyfriend of 9 years because he doesn't want to move. And her friends take her out for one last night, and it like shows their whole day of like, them doing stuff and going through, and they in the night at this big party that is like a secret location every time it happens. And
Mhm.
it's just a fun, cute movie. It really doesn't, in my mind, the only thing it shows you is that, good friends are hard to find and you should keep them because it's ride or die bitch type of friends.
Right
And
on.
that's pretty much it. There's, and that even if you find your soulmate, it may not be the right time in your life for you and your soulmate. But yeah,
Right
I
on.
think
Yeah,
it's a
no.
fun movie. It's just a
It
fun
does sound like
movie.
it does sound like a fun movie.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I do not.
Would you recommend this movie?
I mean, as a serious movie, no, but if you're looking for something like a fun like movie for a Saturday night, oh, excuse me, then yeah, I guess. But it's nothing special, but it's not like terrible. It's not like some of the
No,
other like
it's
terrible
not
movies I've
terrible. If
seen.
you're looking for something that hits on every stereotype that you can think of for teenagers and dating and things like that, it's good. It's got its funny moments. It's not horrible.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, but if all the other movies I wanted to watch weren't free and this one was free, I'd be like, all right, I'm a cheap bitch. I guess I'm gonna watch this movie again.
Right. Absolutely.
So, all right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. We'll also be posting this video to our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to us on there at YouTube BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we are Also, we have a Patreon. Oh my gosh. So there are multiple levels to fit everybody's wants and needs of us. Um, the description and the link are down below. But most of all, please remember to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Drink responsibly. Bye, guys.
Bye.